this again. Today we're at the American Icon Brewery / diesel plant. While I will discuss the diesel plant, it will not be the focus of this discussion. The area around here is rich in history, so I cannot cover it all quickly. But the diesel plant itself is a replacement for an earlier grid that was private, that had several fires and just went bankruptcy, so the city bought municipal bonds and built this plant. It originally had 3 or 4 units, and by the time they were done with it, it had 6. They added to it as they needed until they built Big Blue, and it was reserved for Big Blue, and then it itself had a backup power plant where currently Walking Tree Brewery is, or near that location, and that was a coal fire plant. Also near this was a water tower, and before all this was the water and sewer grid, and that had to stink pretty bad. I couldn't imagine going to a restaurant near it when they had it. So that was like that up to 1958. So imagine if you lived around here in 1958, they were still using it. That water tower, there was 2 of them. The first one was a smaller one. It was typical early 1900s, and it had lights on it that lit up and said Vero in Vero Beach. The second one I remember had a siren on it, and both of them actually were alerts for there was 911. That's how you mention alert emergency, and you could, if you're a firefighter like my father did, you'd run over here and hit the alarm to get the firemen to respond if they didn't get the message. Before this power plant, there was the ice plant right here, which became Roach's Garage. And I'm also going to show you the train station spur that was there. And behind this plant was a packing house with a sign in that you could see from there said Vero Beach. I don't know the name of the family who owned that. And behind that was a Crosby Lumber before, and also Redstone Lumber, BT Redstone's Lumber, which is actually associated indirectly with East Coast Lumber, which is actually in the distance of this photo or video. The power plant itself was built and engineered by several people. The Carter Associates did the construction and the overall designing of the building. Harry Damerow helped with it, and he actually ran the plant and helped set up the wiring. Before him, there was an individual, last name Dane. His grandson worked at Big Blue till they shut it down. And the story is that they actually had a John Deere tractor, and he backed it up and hooked it up with a PTO and ran power at night. Originally, the diesel plant couldn't run a whole lot of power, so they don't run it on certain hours so women could do their ironing on Sunday, and if they had problems with it, they'd actually had to people would help get started so they could watch a movie. You can see the spur here to where the train station was, and down there where that power pole was about where the train station was. And Route 60 did not come this way. This is originally, as it's called now, 19th place. It would dead end here, and they did not bring this through until 1986, and it was 2-way traffic, as I remember then. That's it for now.